Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening again, everyone. My name is Francine, and this is my channel, The Hermetic Herald. And I'm here for part 2 of my series that I'm going to be doing here. This is going to be part 2 of episode 1, which is about Karmics Next Door. This one in particular is the vampire archetype and attribute. So I was touching base with the first part of the message, and I think whether or not you see both, there's a lot of important messages in each of those videos, but there's something about this message being presented to the people that need to hear this specific part. So you may be subscribed to me right now. Thank you so much for watching. You may not be subscribed to me, but have stumbled upon this video, and I hope for you that it helps you in any way that it can. This is going to be about the vampiric energy, which is about the shadow attribute. We're going to be touching on that shadow attribute, which is depleting others for your psychic survival, chronic complaining, and codependency. And this is by the deck that Carolyn Miss created for this. So, and not for me specifically, obviously, but for us. And I feel like I need to really show and focus on specific scenarios that are important for the collective that are going to see this message in regards to the people in your life that have been vampiric, that have taken from you and not given back, that there's been this stagnancy with, that you feel like you can't be yourself around, or you feel like they won't understand truly who you are and where you're coming from in your journey and on your path. And I saw 44 on the clock, so it's just about coming into stability, coming into this quickly too, because I feel like you're gonna highlight these people in your life in your shadow work, because this is primarily going to be about shadow work, but you're highlighting these people with this archetype, and you're starting to pull away from them. You're starting to set up boundaries. You're starting to seek out assistance and wisdom on how to address these people in your life. And so I wanted to bring up and see what Spirit wanted to bring up in terms of what situations and scenarios you'll find this archetype in, if you need that kind of boost and confidence in what you believe to be true. So let's see what's coming through for you guys. I'd like to first pray, of course, to see how all of this pans out with the protection of our elders, those that have gone before us, and our guides. So thank you so much, spirit guides, ancestors, for being present with us here today. Thank you, guardian angels, for being here with me. Thank you so much for the guidance, protection, the love that is in this room and in this life for us. Thank you so much for the positivity that you bring. I ask that you would protect the energy that I give, my energy, and the energy of those that are coming in to this. I pray that this energy exchange would be positive, would be uplifting, and would help people for their highest good and for the highest good of all, including myself and also the people that are watching. Thank you so much for the energy that we exchange. Thank you for the skills that we have to assist the collective with. I pray that this helps and encourages someone on their journey. And I pray that you would just continue to envelop us in protection as we touch on these subjects. Thank you. Ashe, Ishe. I also want to make sure that I put in a trigger warning, because I didn't do that for the last one, so that's going to be in the description box and in the title. But I'd really want to make sure that you guys know this is going to be focused primarily on shadow work, on the people in our lives that possess this energy, that are draining from us, that aren't giving to us. So if you're not ready to talk about that just yet today, you're looking for something else, maybe energetically for your day, I would recommend looking at this later if this isn't for you right now, or looking for a reader that more aligns with what you're looking for from a tarot reading. Okay, so just want to make sure I said that. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors, what is the scenario that the people watching me today, past, present, future, are going through with regards to this vampiric energy? What is the situation and scenario that they're going through? Okay. What is the situation and scenario that the people watching this video are going through? What is the situation that you would like to highlight that will help them? So they told me 6. I hear 6 very strongly, so we're going to keep going. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors. What messages, what situations are through that are listening to this message? What are the messages that they're going through? Please allow the cards to fall. Please allow the cards to fall as they should, okay? I really feel like there's so much more, and we're going to clarify that later. So we're going to start off with 6, see what's going on. Just going to pile, or not pile, but align these together. Okay, so the first one we have here is thoughts. The second card we have here is distant horizons. The third card we have here is main female. Hope you guys can see that. The fourth card we have is poverty. The fifth card is message of concern. And the sixth card is privileged lady. So I'm getting, this is not going to be for everyone, but I'm getting already from what I've seen so far is that there's an energy of this feminine that is being highly regarded by a number of people. There are people from far off, people that likely are not in your vicinity right now, that are watching and looking at you or thinking of you if they can't see you physically. There's something about whether they're seeing you on social media or whether they're seeing you in person or whether they're just thinking of you because they cannot get to you. Spirit wants to highlight that situation coming through. These people are trying to get into your energy. So you guys have already done the work. A number of you have already looked into who these people are and you've already kind of put them by the wayside. I'm hearing wayside, like you've put them aside and you said, okay, I can't deal with this because you are not bringing something fruitful to this conversation. It seems as though you guys had a conversation that ended this. For a number of you, because I'm hearing conversation really was the tipping point, because something was said here that made you recognize and realize that you're the one that's actually providing and presenting something worthy that you're not getting in return. Because when I see poverty, it feels as though you felt like this situation wasn't actually benefiting you. It wasn't bringing you anything. It wasn't bringing you abundance, and it wasn't lifting you up. And they're feeling that. They're thinking about how they lack something because they don't have that connection to you. What's interesting is if we break down the numbers, we have 7, 9, 2, 10, so 1, 5, 3. We have so many different pieces of the puzzle coming into play. It feels like what has happened already, right? It's like you are looking back and relaying what happened to yourself even. Some of you actually are going back and thinking, wow, that situation was crazy. That person tried to get me or tie me down in some instances here. Or that person tried to, the number of these people actually tried to hold on to your energy, hold on to you, and hold on to your blessings because they were holding and preventing you from going so far in your growth, because they were trying to keep you where you were at. They liked you where you were at. They were happy with where you were at. They weren't excited about or ecstatic about what you were doing and how you were growing as an individual. So they were trying to kind of keep you in a place. It could have been an occupation. At the bottom of the deck, we have that card. We have a family room. It could be a family member. So this is a work-related person and also someone in your family. And we have wealthy man, someone who presented all of these things to you and they seemed really well off, right? They seem to have the best interests and intentions is what I'm hearing, but they really didn't. So they thought that they had enough monetary or physical attributes to them. They might be an earth sign and they thought that that was enough to hold on to you, but guess what? You have abundance. You're the privileged lady here. Also, if I'm looking at this and tuning in a little bit more, 1 second. Let's see what else is coming through. There may be people that might also come into your path again that were there previously, but they actually are coming back and giving you a letter or some correspondence to tell you that they've grown, that they're really privileged to know you, that they're really thankful to have known you. Something about a letter or some kind of conversation that might come through. Now, I don't recommend ever trying to chase this down or trying to initiate something with this person if they are in this energy, the vampiric energy. I think that if that is their archetype, what I mean by an archetype is not this is something that they dabble in, but this is something that makes them, it personifies in them. Like this is what you constantly deal with. I would recommend not trying to approach this person to get anything out of them or to get this apology. This is something that's going to come with time, and you may just be surprised by it. There's something about it just coming out of nowhere. Okay, community. So there might be someone here, like a community member, someone that you really trusted, that was maybe a neighbor, someone that was around you. It feels like you might have lived with even family members for some of you, like lived with people, not like saying as a child, because that's, you know, that's obvious, but for the most part, for most people, they lived with their family members. But what I mean by that is there's someone that you might have lived nearby that was a family member that was toxic, that maybe lived down the road or lived in a proximity to you where they had some access to your energy. There's something about that coming through. Yeah, a male family member. And I'm feeling like an energy of like this having something to do with religion as well. Like someone in the community that you trusted as well, that was a man. It could have been a priest, it could have been a pastor, it could have been a minister, someone that is kind of trying to walk in a manner that's worthy, but they're also not seeing the big picture. There's multiple situations going on here. Spirit, what do you want to highlight with this one here? Because I feel strongly a sense of someone coming through that was in your community, in a Christian, I'm even hearing like cult. So take that as it resonates. Someone who was very influential in your life at one point. And they're trying to communicate with you or to form a pathway to get to you, or this is about you forming your own pathway from this person because you could see that this was vampiric, that you were feeling depleted. So there's three circumstances, three big ones in here. This is about all of them. What's similar with all of these situations is that they're all seeing you and looking at you, and they're like reflecting on what they've seen. So I want to kind of clarify these to see if there's anything else coming through that would help the collective here. We have the Nine of Swords coming through, the tipping point of this person coming into, they're reflecting on it a lot about what's going on. But what I want to do, rather than focusing on this person, because I'm pretty sure you're done with that, I'm pretty sure you're not interested in trying to talk through this. Some of you might be just interested in closure in that regard, but there can be closure without having to be in truly like in their face or to have them in your face. You don't have to see them in order to have closure. But what would you like to tell the collective spirit guides, ancestors that are here? What would you like me to say to help the collective on their journey with this person or their experiences with this person? Okay, bottom of the deck is the Hanged Man, this deliberation. You guys are likely deliberating these people and thinking about them and reflecting, as we just had earlier with the thoughts. Patiently reflecting is at the bottom right here, if you guys can see that. We have the Wheel of Fortune. We have anticipating change, Bitcoin investment. So the energy of this is all about you coming into a lot of beauty, a lot of insight, a lot of reflection after this setback or after this painful ending or after this feeling of feeling left out, this sense of feeling like you were excluded. Okay, you might have been excluded by this community. This mature man might have made you feel excluded from your community because you didn't follow their thought processes. But you felt as though this person was also depleting you, of expecting you to do above and beyond, of constantly complaining and constantly saying, you know, you need to do this, you need to do that, and made you feel guilty. Guilt is a really big factor in this reading here. It feels as though that person did so much to you that it made you feel less than, or feel like you had to constantly go to them to feel like you were enough. That vampiric energy, it's so twisted in that they made you feel like you needed them. That's something I'm getting as well. Spirit, what would you like to say? We have the Magician, envisioning the future. We have the Page of Cups, so the Page of Fields coming out, and we have the Chariot. I'm hearing manifesting change. You guys are manifesting this transformation. You're manifesting new people in your life. You're envisioning what you want to see come to fruition. And as you're manifesting new people, it's like the people of the past are recognizing and feeling that you're no longer in their energy. If I were to mention something to you guys, I recently, for instance, have had an experience where I had a very vampiric energy. I still do have this vampiric energy in my family, and this person is going through a lot of mental turmoil. Okay, I'm just going to say that. But what they're going through is possibly something that can be explained through medicine, right? They're going through mental illnesses of some sort. But this person is not accountable in the sense that they want to take control of their lives and say, hey, I'm going through it right now. I need somebody. Or they're not communicating that they need some space, that they need quiet, that they need family, that they need friends. What they do is they actually, in my family, are basically reaping whatever they can from every person and making all of them feel guilty for not being there for them. And they're not just saying things, that are true, like, hey, you did this to me and this is what is gonna happen. It's like they're playing God, in that they're trying to control the situation to their benefit, and they're not putting in any work whatsoever. Nothing, there's no assistance that they want. They believe they're completely fine, but they also are struggling and they also are upset. And it's very vampiric in that they expect everyone to help and to do something for them without them giving of anything. Nothing. Not a crumb, not a dollar, nothing. Because they believe that everyone in the world has done something that warrants them to receive the bounty of everyone's actions, of everyone's help, of everyone's assistance, when in reality they don't like that person, or they don't like anyone. I've never met a person like this, but this person is in my family, and there's a lot of karma associated with them. And so when you manifest the people that are meant for you, that are healthier, when you have boundaries set up and you're stating, this is what I expect of others, and I'm not going to settle for less, those people are starting to feel your absence, because this person is starting to say to me specifically, she's dead, she's gone. Energetically, they're feeling that I am gone, right? And I think everything boils down to energy. And I feel like this person is sensing that they no longer have access to my energy, therefore I am dead to them. And I feel like some people are starting to come into your life and they're trying to say, hey, are you okay? Are you still alive? And they're joking, but that might be actually an example for somebody, that they might even say like, hey, are you alive? And joke about it, but you know that person and that energy, and that they're coming from a place of just trying to know if they can gossip, or they can talk about what you're doing, and they can go back and tell other people about what's going on, and also try to take and glean stuff from you in the process. So be wary of those people, okay? There's something here about receiving a message, so receiving insight from your circumstances, tapping into your inner child, of tapping into what you deserve and what you want out of a relationship and out of your friendships and community, and then coming out and saying what you want to say and feeling free, knowing that you have allies around you, your spirit guides, your guides, your team, the people that are close to you, that you feel comfortable with, that are there for you, truly, that you feel are there for you. They're going to assist you at this time. And it's a natural ebb and flow. It's not something that's forced in any way. This is going to be you receiving a message, the message that you deserve to be happy, you deserve to be healed. If you don't feel that way already, it's coming to the realization of how you can walk that out and say, this is what I need to do, step one. Because I'm a Virgo, for me as a Virgo, I go through steps. So I have like a list of things that I do, and I usually say like, step one, stop talking back, reaching out to this person. Because you always end up in this rut where you come back to ending up in their bed, or ending up being at the end of an argument that you've had many times over, and you guys are feeling drained, or feeling like you're not happy with it, with the situation. There's a need for someone to reflect as well. I think there's someone here that feels like they're left out in the cold as well, and Spirit wants you to look back at the people that you felt like you were left out in the cold from, and disconnect from those energies. There's something here about you being real with your energy, with your inner child, with your wounding, anything that has wounded you in the past, of being real with yourself and saying, yeah, I need to address why I feel like I need this person that's taking from me so much. There's also the Chariot. So this is happening very quickly. This is going to be happening very steadfastly as well. It may feel like a lot when you start peeling back at the layers of instability or things, people in your life that were not there for you. You'll begin to see these shatter, the relationships that are not for you shatter or to fall at the wayside after you start manifesting and really putting your intentions for better relationships, for better conversations even with people, like more worthy, I'm hearing worthy opponents, people that are actually like here to sharpen you. I feel like that term needs to be used. Someone here needs to know that there are people that are here in this world that are a part of your soul tribe that are going to sharpen with you and learn with you. They're not just going to give to you. You're going to be also a part of their tribe and their family. Manifest those things, because then you're going to start seeing these vampiric energies wonder where you are, and that means you're doing something right. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors, are there any messages, any additional messages that you'd like to share for the collective here? We have the Devil naturally coming through. We have Capricorn energy as well. It's your triggers and what holds you back from your path. What are you highlighting here, Spirit, with this? We have the Nine of Wands here. Okay, I see. And then we have the Eight of Swords. Wow. So we just have tension. The tension is going to ease as you step out of this deliberation mode. See, we have the Hangman on both decks. There's something here about you coming out of deliberation and making a decision and a choice to cut off I'm hearing the ties that bind. There's something about you feeling like you're being oppressed by this energy, by this vampire, and it's like there's a need for you to put up your boundaries. Be persistent with your boundaries at this time, collective. If you feel like you're starting to settle and say, okay, I'll let them in a couple of times. Okay, I'll continue the argument with them even though I know it's fruitless. There's a need for you to stop doubting that you are meant to stay firm even when there are constraints that come up. Now I'm going to tell you another story because I feel like I have to be really personable and real with people. It's not like I'm not, it's just that I tend to kind of keep and reel in my energy. Things that I feel like are really personal, but I feel like I'm opening up a lot more on this channel. So I feel like my example of my mother, for instance, right? So she is actually constantly calling me, and even when I tell her, Mom, I'm okay, for the past 7-8 years, my mother, since leaving and heading out to college and starting my life anew, my mother has been very persistently calling incessantly, even during classes in school and college and stuff like that, saying, why aren't you answering the phone call? Why aren't you answering my phone when I need you to? Why aren't you doing this and that? And she'll go as far as to start cursing me out when I don't. And it's come to the point where I was so traumatized by that I don't read voicemails. Okay, so I don't even read voicemails at this current moment in time unless I have the bandwidth to do it. So I'll literally wait 3 days before reading a voicemail, because I know that if I haven't talked to someone, they might just curse me out. They might just say really mean, evil things. And that's something that I got so used to, that I would answer the phone when I didn't feel like it, because if I didn't do that, that person would then curse me out, would call me a bitch, would call me this and that, would say I'm worthless. Now, and I'm not going to get emotional on here, I'm going to try to concisely say what's going on. But yeah, that's the kind of energy I would get day to day, right? If I didn't answer the phone, if I didn't respond fast enough, that's what I would get. So I put up my boundaries. I said, you know what? I love you. I know you're my mom. I know you care. I know that you want the best for me. But here's the thing. I have classes and I have other things going on, and I try to tell you through text that I am also trying to get these things done. Now, I would like you to talk to me through text, because calling will not always be a possibility, okay? So some of you might even feel uncomfortable with talking on the phone because of certain situations, or just your age range, right? Some of us are not used to being on the phone, like some people that predate us, that are from other generations prior to us. But there's this thing about you needing to stop kind of going through this emotional torment of feeling like you're doing something wrong because you have things to do, but also recognizing that you're not an evil person, you're not a bad person if you're not able to communicate with someone right away. It's important that the person has the respect and the boundaries, regardless of age, okay, to say, okay, I respect that you have classes and that you have other things going on, and they respect that you just only have a text to give them of, I'm okay, Mom, I love you. That was something I had to struggle with. I would constantly say, I am okay, I am doing this right now, but I will call you when I can, and not being enough. That was the boundary that was overstepped constantly. Now I have to literally block this person from sites like this because they're still doing that. They have gone so far as to call the cops on me. So I am also trying to maintain that as well. Now, this may not be your situation, but I'm just giving you an extreme karmic relationship that I am experiencing right now, okay? As a mother and as a woman that is old enough to talk to a person when they're ready. All right, so Spirit's just highlighting this for you to help you, hopefully, with your path. Because the number 4 is coming out at the bottom of the deck as well for you guys, 444. So you might be seeing 444 a lot. At the time that I'm doing this, it's 5/5 of 2023, so the 555 portal or the 555 energies are also here. Transformation in the very foundation of either your home, community, of the stability that you once maybe thought was always going to be there, was ancient. Something's being pulled out of the surface, pulled out from the root so that you can deal with it. So you guys are addressing boundaries, you guys are addressing karma, deeply rooted karmic relationships that need to be healed. You're coming out of reflection and you're acting on it. So Spirit's really urging you, if anything at all, if I can help you in any way by showing you that example, that you can move forward out of this energy, and you can decide to put and leave people by the wayside, and encourage them by not entertaining their energy to do differently, to be better, to grow, to expand, to learn. And I feel like that's what Spirit's saying to you guys. You're going to see people reaching out to you and you're going to say, hey, you're not even going to say anything. That's beautiful energy, guys. Is there anything else that Spirit would like to highlight here? Yeah, High Priestess, trusting your intuition. If you feel like they're passing a boundary, don't let them get anything else, because what they'll do is they'll continue to push past it. Okay? Anything else, Spirit? We have the Ace of Swords. So I think Spirit's trying to say that this is all of what needed to be said. I don't think there's much else to say. King of Swords. Yeah, the King of Swords is at the bottom of the deck, the Hanged Man, and the Emperor. So you are in control of your path. Always know that you're in control. I'm hearing Mayfair. Is there something in relation to Mayfair that you'd like me to highlight, Spirit? There's an opportunity here with Mayfair, or an expectation that you can have of something relating to a place or something called Mayfair, and I'm seeing 111 on my screen. So someone needs to hear that as well. But there's something spiritually happening in the collective where a lot of people are getting out of this energy of being stuck or stagnant, and of coming into their truth and of saying no. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys, the Tower at the bottom. So I love you, take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.